Yeah. This is happening. And actually, it was already a few weeks ago. A few weeks ago, I got to watch the first episode of Peacemaker like a month before it actually premieres. At this point, I actually heard that some people got to watch the first 3 episodes early, but in my case, I only got to watch the first one. But I figured, might as well give you my thoughts. So this is going to be a spoiler-free video, which is unusual for me. Whenever I make videos about TV episodes, usually it's on the day they air, so the episode is already out, so spoiling it is okay. But in this case, this episode has not been released yet, so I don't want to spoil it for you so you can watch this video and be fine. I'm just gonna give you, a vague summation, a review, if you will, of this first episode of Peacemaker that I got to see early. So let's get started. Peacemaker. So Peacemaker is the first TV series in the DC Extended Universe. It's a spin-off from The Suicide Squad, which came out last August. And like that movie, this series is written and mostly directed by James Gunn. And since this series does take place after The Suicide Squad, I will give you a spoiler alert for that movie. Again, no spoilers for Peacemaker, but for The Suicide Squad, yeah, so you've been warned. After having somehow miraculously survived being shot in the neck by Bloodsport, Christopher Smith, aka Peacemaker, played by John Cena, is back in action because he has once again been recruited by Argus because they're like, hey, yeah, we got another mission for you. You have a pretty strong background, you can get shit done, so it looks like you're our man for the job. And so here we go with our new Peacemaker show, which is gonna be 8 episodes long. Like I said, I only got to watch the first episode early, so I'm giving you my thoughts on that. The episode is 45 minutes long, and it's pretty jam-packed with content. And I'll tell you what, I actually really enjoyed this first episode, more than I thought I would. Yeah, it really impressed me. First off, John Cena as Peacemaker is the biggest man-child I think I've ever seen in anything. And sure, I have seen, plenty of man-child characters in movies, TV shows, games, but this guy is just a different kind of man-child. He's still a douchebag, oh yeah, for sure. He's pretty insensitive to other people's feelings, and he is not the best at keeping up with the times, but he's funny. I will say, just about this episode and probably this whole show in general, if you're like one of those overly sensitive types where you're like, they just said that? Oh my word. Then this is definitely not the show for you. You should probably avoid it, because you'll probably be triggered. A few other characters also stood out though in this episode. Leota Adebayo, she's a newcomer to Argus and this whole job of espionage and superhero stuff. And man, let me tell you, she is green. She is a total noob. It's almost pathetic to watch, honestly. I mean, she knows how to get shit done, I guess, in a sense, but just behavior-wise, she acts maybe a little too nice. She's empathetic to a couple characters, and in this business, you just can't be that way. Like Bats in Baby Driver said, in this business, the moment you catch feelings
is the moment you catch a bullet.
So she's gonna have to learn to toughen up. Although she and Peacemaker do start an interesting relationship here. I like her, and I'm looking forward to seeing how her character progresses and evolves, and also her relationship with Peacemaker. I'm looking forward to seeing how that evolves as well. Should be good. At a point in this episode, we visit Robert Patrick, who plays Peacemaker's father, and oh my god, this guy holds like a record, or at least he's up there for douchiest character I think I've ever seen in anything. Oh my god, what a bitter old fuck. I mean, not only is the guy a complete white supremacist, absolutely, but he treats his son like shit. You just get the feeling that he has no respect for anything. He really is a piece of shit human being, which means Robert Patrick is awesome in this episode. And it's also during this scene where Peacemaker reunites with his father that he reunites with his pet bald eagle, Eagly. And yeah, you can instantly tell it's CG. They didn't actually get a bald eagle for the show, I don't think. But I just couldn't help when I was watching this, I was all like, that is so awesome that Peacemaker has a pet bald eagle. Again, it's crazy and ridiculous, yeah. But it's just so cool. Yeah, I want a pet bald eagle, absolutely. I would name it Justice and it would be awesome. We get a couple of scenes of the character Adrian Chase, aka Vigilante, in this episode. And so far, I actually am not a huge fan of him. He's just really pathetic. He really wants to pal around with Peacemaker. I guess he's really naive in that sense. I mean, there's one scene in this episode, I'm not gonna spoil it, but he takes the spotlight, and I was just watching this like, this isn't really funny. Or at least I didn't think it was funny. Yeah, I will say, there were definitely some moments in this episode where I was laughing out loud. More than I thought I would, actually. What can I say? Some of the humor in this episode really landed with me, surprisingly so. But some did not. So there's that. And then there's Harcourt. She takes a spotlight at a point in this episode. I think the scene was in one of the trailers where she beats the absolute shit out of some guys in a bar. Yeah, we see that here in this first episode, and yeah, it just shows that she is not to be fucked with. She just has that resting bitch, I have had enough of your shit attitude. And I, for one, thought it was damn entertaining, I'm not gonna lie. She too has some interesting dialogue with Peacemaker in this episode. Now, of course, in case you couldn't tell by now, this show is absolutely rated TVMA. I mean, it's it's spinning off of the Suicide Squad, for fuck's sake. If you can handle that, you can handle this. Although, just forewarning you, I feel like it's fair to warn you about this. In the beginning of this episode, just be ready to see John Cena's bare ass, or at least a body double's bare ass, and you'll probably know when it's coming. But there's an opening credit sequence in this episode. Dude, again, I'm not gonna spoil like what it is, but watching it, I was like, yeah, this is classic textbook James Gunn, and I am loving it. It's hilarious. You're not ready for it. I am telling you that right now. You might think you're ready for it. You're not ready for it. And from there until the end, I was thoroughly entertained. I will say there are some surprises in this first episode, stuff I did not see coming, because they were not shown in the trailers, at least not the trailers I saw, which are the ones I made videos about. But yeah, I was like, oh, holy shit. That's cool. And actually, this is something where I can compare it to the Suicide Squad. Because with the Suicide Squad, I was like, okay, so the trailers pretty much showed me everything I can expect from the movie, and there were no real surprises. Nothing in that movie really blew me away. Maybe the trailers should have hid more stuff. Maybe they shouldn't have shown Starro at all. But here in Peacemaker, yeah, there are things in this episode that I had no idea were gonna be in this episode. Again, definitely not gonna spoil them here, but I was very pleasantly surprised. So yeah, huge plus points for that. And of course, this episode anyway gets completely ridiculous. It's James Gunn. There were a couple points where I was like, I can't believe what I'm watching right now. There's a point where John Cena is singing with, it was so funny. I was laughing out loud because I was like, this is absurd. I love it. I've never seen anyone do that before. Definitely one of the funniest moments in this episode for sure. But speaking of singing, yeah, alright, let's talk about the music. Because yeah, there are a few, I don't know if they're classic rock or 90s punk or what. Definitely some hard rock songs though. But I mean, I shouldn't even have to say that, right? Because it's James Gunn. We already know that that kind of music is going to be in this. But the songs fit in this episode really well. And I'm looking forward to hearing whatever other songs the rest of the series might bring. So alright, I'm going to wrap this up now. In the end, this first episode of Peacemaker actually blew me away. Yeah, surprisingly so. I was not expecting to love this first episode as much as I did, but it was hilarious for the most part. There were some parts that did not make me laugh because I did not think they were funny when they were supposed to be, but most of the humor I thought was pretty good. The characters are very entertaining. Their chemistry is really good. The dialogue is great, and the action's really exciting too. I don't know what to say. This series might just be one of the biggest surprises of 2022 for me. Yeah, sure, okay, it's a little early to call that, but I was just surprised as to how much I was blown away by this first episode. Nice going, James Gunn. Oh, and also there is a little mid-credits thing. I actually don't remember if it was mid-credits or post-credits because, again, I watched this like a few weeks ago. But there is a little credits scene and it's pretty good, so stick around for that. So, Peacemaker. Are you looking forward to it still? I mean, I can't ask have you seen it, what did you think about it, since it's not out for another week. So are you looking forward to it? Whatever you think, go ahead and leave a comment. And of course, thank you for subscribing. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm headed to Palm Desert for the weekend. I've actually never been, so it should be interesting. Peace!